This video was sponsored by Enhance, Elbilmek, a bit road planner, Kempower and bilkomponenter.
Yo, what's up? Finally, the legend is back, Renault 5. You know my first car that my mom bought to me, that was in 2001. No, the year of 2000. My mom bought a turquoise Renault 5 1.4 liter gasoline engine. So that was the start of my driving career. And now we see the Renault 5 electric here. That's, well, 25 years later. Oh, I mean, it's just, oh man, it's like good old times. Yeah, the back seat is for people without legs. The trunk is as small as it ever was, more or less. I remember I even put a freaking 12-inch 7 Vega subwoofer in here. Okay, not in here, but you know, in the old days, yeah. So at least Renault, they kept the iconic shape. They didn't change too much, except for that it is electric now, and of course better safety than before. So yeah, here you see the front. Oh yeah, it has the e-tech stuff, Google based, or yeah, Google Maps here, you know. So the weird thing here is the trip meter. Is that it has one trip meter here only, and then if you go to my driving here, you have some trip meter here. So I'll try to figure out the battery capacity. Now we're charging it back to 100%, and then car scanner works. We have some variables here, even though, well, the state of charge is 100% display and then 97 here, so this is probably true state of charge, I'm assuming. We have voltage, current, power, remaining energy. Okay. Yeah, this is going up as we charge now. Total discharge, min max temp, right? Inlet here, some cell voltage delta. Cell. Wait, maybe I should move this bit. I can show you how this is. You can do this. You can do this. Okay, so I probably want the cell voltage delta. I had to rename some of the names. Are freaking weird, man. Here, I think we'll have like this instead. Okay. So yeah, for you guys who keep asking me, what is this app? It's called Car Scanner. I mentioned it so many times, Car Scanner. Okay, anyway, there is even a variable for battery overheating. Really? We'll see about that in the 1,000 kilometer challenge. All right, so we are now just preparing, and as you guys know it, regular route is that we will drive first past here. There is a bit of Baustelle over there. We start from Minnesota and we drive the loop here. And then we measure, yeah, various things, battery capacity, consumption, range, and so on. Maybe also test the sound system. We actually have, oh, you can see it there. Focus, Harman Kardon. This is not the poor man's car. It cost over 320,000 NOK. And then you also add some of the extras. So I mean, it's like 300, I don't know, I have to check again, maybe 340K NOK or something. So I mean, it's not a poor car, but it is a small, and it is the icon, yeah, also here. The baguette holder. So I just put my Stormberg bottle in here. Yeah, how about that? Man, it's freaking long and deep. Wow, it's designed for long baguettes. Interesting. This state of charge has been 100% for a while, and it just keeps charging, right? But here, I thought this was state of charge BMS, but it seems to be the true state of charge. So now it's 100%. Okay, we should finish anytime soon then. We are now at Minnesota. This is going to be the starting position. Well, unless there is Baustelle. Wait, what? Oh, nice. Okay, if there's a click, I can maximize here. Okay, unless there is Baustelle here, but I think they finish it. Okay, earlier this week they had it over there. Okay, so we can start here, and then we'll do the 120 test first. So I will drive over to Tangen, which is right, yeah, it's here. Yeah, when you zoom in, you can start seeing some charger and stuff. This is just like the Polestar 3 I tested recently. So, but we don't want to navigate to a charger because then it will preheat. Hey, strange, it shows on arrival. Oh, there, on the return. Oh, nice. I mean, you get the Google tech in here, which is awesome. So when it comes to the stats, okay, my driving, you can go here, or when I go home, and I can bring this out. how did it, yeah, and then I click here. So the consumption here seems to be a rolling average. That's not what we're looking for. 189 watt hour per kilometer. You click here and then you get 203 watt hour per kilometer, and that is actually the one since reset. You can also see it here when we use the up down. Okay, that's the distance, and here we also have the same number there. So I've written down this. It's kind of clumsy. I need to now reset and then measure each segment to figure out the net capacity. Yeah, this what we have here. Okay, let's do all the preparation and then off we go. Well, we're on the move. The only problem is that the Norwegian Left Lane Huggers Club decided to camp in the left lane today. So they mess up the consumption slightly because we cannot drive as fast as we can or we want to. So I have to ABC always be compensating. Yeah, once this Nisse clears out of the way, we can go a little bit faster. There you go. Alright, so, all good. It is a bit noisy when we hammer on the motorway at 120 kilometers per hour, especially considering we have headwind. But maybe this city car was not optimized for that kind of motorway hammering. It's more in the city, in the French cities. Yeah, then it's fine. Now we're gonna turn around here at Tangen. We have to cruise 123 on a speedo to match 120 GPS speed. So far consumption is 222 watt hour per kilometer. That's not too bad considering that we have around 5 to 6 meter per second headwind. So of course that's not ideal for consumption versus if we had no wind, but okay, we can't change the weather, can we? And first I try eco mode, but it turns out the eco mode is that leaf over there limits the cruise speed to 115 kilometers per hour, and then the throttle becomes super sluggish. So I actually have to use comfort mode to get the correct test here. In the 90 test I can use eco mode then. Yeah, you can see it's kind of windy here in Mjøsa today. Yeah, we have tailwind now on the way back. Okay, result from the 120 test, 202 watt hour per kilometer. Well, I mean, I guess that's okay, right, for a not so aerodynamic car. And then reported distance was 57.7 kilometers. So yeah, and also here the reported climate and others, yeah, 0.6 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers. That's kind of a silly unit. It would be better if we can actually count 6 watt hour per kilometer. And then given that we draw at 120 kilometers per hour, we can take 6 times 120, and that becomes 720 watts. So yeah, that makes sense. Okay, there's some AC and some screen and other stuff that consumes a little bit, but not too much. Okay, let's reset, and then, well, now this time I can go here and I can go in eco mode, and then we can go again in the 90 test. This time we cruise at 93 on the speedo. That's 90 GPS speed. Yeah, the windsock over there is quite erected. You can see it there. Yeah. Based on the rings erected, should mean that we have somewhat strong wind, but it tends to be strong over here at Minnesota, and then it's less once we get into the forest. So yeah, so far it's 103 watt hour per kilometer. You see here, and then you see here, this is the rolling average, like I claimed earlier. This screen is pretty cool. And this is front wheel drive, 150 horsepower. And we see that it's now outputting power to the front motor, but also the HVAC. So if I click here, turn off the HVAC, then it goes off. I haven't seen many cars display HVAC in this diagram also. Well, let's test the sound system then. Yeah, there's a subwoofer here. That actually sounds okay. Yeah. Wait, what? I said okay, and then this came up. Okay, let me turn off that shit. I couldn't figure out how to turn it off, so I just have to avoid saying that word. It sounds alright. Yeah. And just like other Renault, you have the stalk here and the steering wheel to adjust volume and next previous. Okay. bass a bit overwhelming, too loud. I would personally tune it down a little bit. And also, it doesn't feel that punchy and tight. Possibly because subwoofer is in the back, right? I haven't checked it, but usually in the back in many cars. But the guy's voice is nice and pleasant to listen to. Great, okay. What about rattling in the doors? So as usual, I use USB stick with uncompressed wave file in CD quality. It's the best. Oh, it rattles all over the car. The car is so small, it rattles all over the place. Okay. Oh, nice bass at least. And also, I mean, it has that crispness, that detail in the high and mid tones. I like it. Even in this kind of song, right? This kind of music. Well, again, the bass is a bit overwhelming. And if you crank up the volume, okay, then when you crank it up, it doesn't, okay, it becomes slightly louder, but then the bass starts clipping. And the mid-high tones goes louder, but at least they don't distort that much. So, I mean, overall, it's a okay system. If I rate it, maybe give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah. Good for poor, okay, not the poor man's car, yeah. This time we consume only 139 watt-hour per kilometer, so this could indicate that the car is boxy or not that aerodynamic. And then the distance reported by the car is 70.6, and then according to Google it's supposed to be 72. So we actually have whopping 1.9% under reported distance, but this is not an accurate measurement. But I mean, it's good enough. Okay, so now I need to drive. Huh? What? No, go away.
Unfortunately, I can't help you with that.
Yeah, okay. But I have 42% left, so I need to go deep-ish. And when you do this, okay, maybe I want to take that away now. When you navigate to a fast charger, it will preheat. So let me see if I can find, yeah, here. So for example, Ioniq, DAR, I'm going to go charge there, charging test. Then it should preheat, but I'm not sure how it works. There is no indication usually that the preheating is active. But okay, we need to drive a little bit more to go deep. We are now at Ioniq DAR, we're going to do the charging test. So we are now down to 9%, I think that's deep enough. Car scanner reports 11%. But also strange that remaining energy is 6.6 kilowatt hour. If we are 10% or 9%, it should be at around 4, right? 4 something kilowatt hours. I wonder if this is including some zero buffer. But yeah, based on this now, actually this last leg here, and this consumption is including the 90 test also. I will estimate how many kilowatt hour I have, but let's start charging first. Look at this, we get 100 kilowatt. Yeah, the battery temperature is at 26 to 29 degrees Celsius. So that should be optimal for the fastest charging. So 100 kilowatt is max. Just wonder how long we can keep it. And based on actually the range test and the charging test, I can then estimate how long the 1,000 kilometer challenge will take. Of course, we're gonna do 1,000 kilometer challenge with a city car. Well, let's check the weight first. Front axle. 880 kilograms, really? The whole car? Wow, 1,004. Wait, 1,540, I mean. It's just wow, that is light. So yeah, despite having only 150 horsepower, it feels quite nimble. This is a bit strange because based on the test today, if we try to calculate how many kilowatt hour I have, and then based on the percent on the display, right, then it seems like we have only 48.7 kilowatt hour, and according to EV database, we have 52 kilowatt hour net capacity. But then if we use the remaining kilowatt hour that car scanner reports, then we get 50.9 kilowatt hour, which is closer to that number, right? And there's always some discharging losses when you drive the car and accelerate up and down hills and stuff. But I'm not sure. I suspect that 50.9 or 52 kilowatt hour is including some zero buffer. I haven't done any 0 mile test yet. I'm not sure if I have time for it, but I'm going to go for the 48.7 kilowatt hour. And that means that the range in this Renault 5 is actually roughly on par with the Inster. And the Inster had a colder run, so if I try to do Inster run today, we're probably getting roughly the same consumption numbers. So yeah, these cars, I mean, they are similar in size, right? Similar in price. And then it just boils down to, do you want the E-Tech from Renault, or do you want the Korean tech? I'm actually not sure. Both of the cars are actually nice in their own ways, but I'm kind of leaning a little bit against the Renault, because we have Google at least here, right? In the Koreans, it's like, the Korean cars, the navigation always a bit, but on that though, both cars are great, but maybe I'm biased because I used to own a Renault 5. It's just, well, actually there's not much that resembles the Renault 5 when you drive it, except for maybe the gear stock. Seems like that one, they purposely made it similar to, well, it wasn't the gear stock in the old days, because the gear shifter was down here, had a stick shift, right? Quite big in the center. But that resembles the, I think the blinker stock. Yeah. So they have some elements from good old Renault 5. But then this is, remember, this is the car of the year. So yeah, I mean, it better be good, right? And overall, at least now, I haven't found any big minuses yet. But I'm still gonna do a lot of tests with this car. So that's gonna be for now. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.